I don't know what you got, Nat, but draft is up. Round of 32 match, game 1, not Tomb of the Spider Queen. Why is that there? This is going to be the Battlefield of Eternity, and Tempo Storm actually gets first pick, first ban this round.
Yes, and they're going to ban out that Kael'thas, which is going to get a return ban of Zeratul. Don't want to let Zuna on that Zeratul, of course.
Absolutely not.
They're going to first pick Jaina, so they're going to take out 2 casters from Duality Gaming being able to pick up.
Duality Gaming is making a statement here. Asmodan, first pick, nipple ring hype, but it goes straight into Sylvanas. And, you know, we just talked about getting yourself, you know, kind of pigeonholed with supports, and now Asmodan and Sylvanas are coming out strong. I'm a little surprised Tempo Storm actually didn't immediately just take Johanna.
I'm curious, too. I guess we'll have to watch what the rest of the draft is going to be. There's a couple other options you can go for if you're going to be trying to go for those Asmodan stacks. But of course, Asmodan's also really good on this map because of the Generals of Hell. Being able to push those lanes on the side while you're fighting over the Immortals, that's going to be the big question here of whether or not they can actually achieve that and get some really good pushing potential out.
All right, so it's going to be the Mirrodin as well as the Rhaegar. And it's going to be here, next round picks here, as Duality Gaming now have a choice. They need to ban something. Sylvanas, Jaina, and Kael'thas are already taken care of. We have tank, we have support. What would you ban here?
Really, this is like kind of anything goes here for the ban because there's not really a huge composition coming out here that they could really easily implement. They're going to ban out the Illidan, which is an interesting ban.
Yeah, not too sure that was kind of a value ban right there. You might want to look at Falstad, Zagara, Abathur maybe. We just saw the Abathur absolutely wreck face on this map, but Tempo Storm at the same time, yeah, not really too much of a surprise there. They do ban out the Johanna.
Yeah, they're not going to allow them to have that easy potential of getting those Asmodan stacks by using the Condemn with the level 1 Knight Takes Pawn, which just allows Asmodan to pretty much easily clean up those waves very early in the game and get those stacks very quickly. So taking out Johanna, they need to pick up somebody like a Tassadar or a Vala in order to really weaken down those lanes. They pick up Malfurion, which is a smart pickup, and they go for the Anubarak as well.
All right, so the Malfurion for the support, Anubarak. Now, is it me, or does this seem like a very push-heavy comp from Duality?
Oh, incredibly push-heavy. They've got Sylvanas and Asmodan. There's no way that this isn't going to be some sort of massive siege damage composition so far.
But they also got the Beetles coming up from Anubarak. Now, we haven't seen a pure Beetle build yet, but at level 4, that's really the big one there to auto-generate them. You're going to be getting them on your spell usage anyways, but we have been seeing a lot more of the Bed of Barbs. We've been seeing the Underking, or the Underking for the range increases there. But it just seems like so far, Duality Gaming is all about the push.
Yeah, and on this map, that's actually a pretty good way to play this game. That means that if you get a pretty good Immortal, you can push another lane or push with it. Either way, you can have a really good pushing potential once those Immortal fights actually happen. The only thing is you have to win those fights, and the sustain is going to be a really big question. Tempo Storm,
oh no!
I heed the voice of Illusion.
I totally forgot. We haven't seen the Butcher in ages.
That's what I was trying to bring up. There we go. With the Butcher coming in here and a Tyrande.
Oops. This is Zuna's Butcher has absolutely been terrifying. I've seen them wreck Cloud9, Maelstrom. Oh wow! Wow, we are just throwing everything to the wind on this. Look at that last pick.
Yeah, a Thrall. What an enthralling last pick there from Duality Gaming, but a smart one. Thrall really is hindered by the fact that he can't really engage into an enemy. But when an enemy runs at him, he's got a pretty good potential to lay down a lot of damage.
Not when they're unstoppable.
That's true. But he can still put down a lot of damage. So Thrall could actually lock down the Butcher after he gets his initial charge in. And potentially take him out pretty quickly. They have to watch out for Dreadnoughts, Rhaegar throwing down those Ancestrals, and of course Arthalon's Tyrande to lock down somebody with that Lunar Blaze, Lunar Flare, wow. So it's gonna be a very difficult situation, very delicate, and split-second decisions for both these teams to actually get those kills.
Nothing against Duality, but I don't think Tempo Storm is going to drop this one. I mean, the Butcher is such an engage-heavy meta, and they got the Tyrande, they got the Jaina on the back of it. Butcher gets low, Rhaegar. Butcher needs an escape, Mirrodin. Duality Gaming is not equipped for a team fight, I feel.
I really don't think so either. They don't have any really range burst damage. Going against a Jaina with no Kael'thas, their range damage is pretty much sustain heavy. If they can't get those Asmodam stacks, they're going to have 0 burst in range.
Yeah, so this is going to be a map. Now we are returning to the Battlefield of Eternity, and the running joke here is that it's the longest running average game length that we've seen now in competitive. Last round though, Ascent took it in 14 minutes, and now Tempo Storm with this engage heavy comp, all they have to do is get a few kills. Immortal, rinse, repeat. Butcher is very good at kind of landing a lot of those opportunities.
Especially just because if you get Butcher up to a pretty good amount of stacks with the blood, fresh meat, sorry, he actually does a lot of damage very quickly, and against a stationary target like the Immortal, he can wail it down really quickly. Like, not even gonna last that long, and they could easily pick up an Immortal as soon as they have any type of map control. So it's a scary thing to go against, but we are now into the game.
We are absolutely, sir. All right, Duality Gaming has the honor of being blue here in their first round matchup. Panda the Boy, Father Major, Chucanos, Fears, and into the top lane, looks like Myth is going to be holding down the fort.
And currently #1 seeded in this tournament, and also one of the highest ranked, if not the highest ranked team in the North America since the inception of this game. It is Tempo Storm. We've got Zuna, Soldier, KO, Arthalon, and Dreadnought.
And they are doing this 5-man death ball. Oh, Myth is going to be a big target caught right there. He's immediately, no hesitation right there, just going to go right over that wall for the defense. The rest of the team of Duality will collapse for the defense, but not quite the first blood we were looking for from Tempo Storm. Level 1's coming out, and already I'm struck by something here. Father Major has Healing Ward at level 1.
Huh.
Yep. Zuna going to be charging into the bottom. He immediately cancels it out, realizes he went a little bit too far. Low hit points for him, so we're going to have to keep an eye on that one. But Father Major with this early Healing Ward, it has to be, again, big push comps out of this.
Yeah, I guess that's what they're going for. And already, you know, we're starting to see the power of that. The General of Hell, of course, pushing everybody pretty hard in, and they're actually doing some pretty good damage to those turrets. Turrets are actually losing a lot of their bullets as soon as they lose that bullet potential completely. But oh man, right now Father Major getting engaged upon Butcher, taking a lot of hits, but Zuna gonna be able to disengage by going back through the shroud and actually remounting. Looks like he was potentially thinking about going back on in there. Both these teams going pretty ham on each other, but gonna back up.
All right, what else do we got? With the wind, it's not going to be the barb shot there for the Sylvanas. We do have Assault Scarab, so again, looking at a Beetle build. Man, they're not even going to let me do this. There goes the Malfurion as he drops. Again, like, the stun combo followed up by the Butcher. I mean, it's a triple stun comp, basically, here this early game. There's not really going to be a lot you can do to kind of survive through that. So now with the Immortals coming up, let's take a finished look at here. Rabid Wolves for the Thrall and Shando's Clarity for that Innervate cooldown. I think, again, like, it's going to have to be on Father Major again and again and again.
Yeah, but without the increased damage on the globe, I don't think his mana is really worth Innervates. His damage, or sorry, I should say, is not worth the Innervates, because he's not going to lay down a whole bunch of damage with those Globes of Annihilation. A little bit of engagement here. It looks like actually, oh my god, the Malfurion is eliminated so quickly.
Yeah, Myth a little bit late on that counter stun. The Globe so far not really hitting much there either, but the collapse was really good here from Tempo Storm. You can see about a half level between the teams. 3 kills in. Level 4 is there. Feral Heart to go with the Spirit Walkers. So far a pretty typical kind of healing build out of Arthalon. It's the 50-50 fight about to exchange. That's Snowstorm though on KO. It's not going to be Envenom, and we do see Envenom quite a bit.
Yeah, Envenom did take a little bit of a nerf in the last patch, but oh, Snowstorm on this map is going to be so good just because of how many choke points there are. That Blizzard's going to pretty much cover every single choke point to the fullest, to the max. Meanwhile, they pick up that kill, they use that map control to immediately go back in on the Immortal. Looks like there is going to be a little bit of a fight as The Major is going to take a huge amount of hits, and he's going to go down yet again.
Yeah, and Panda Boy, I don't think he's going to be looking too long here. No, KO comes into the back. There's that big range, so the big radius on the Blizzard. It will catch enough for a Nubarak as well. And the 50-50, I mean, it brought us to 50, but it is going to be a very quick Immortal at the 3-minute mark, and that's a full half set of shields for this Immortal. So what will Tempo Storm now do with this Immortal push? It's going to be top, and it does look like they are congregating up there.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to just go top. They're going to follow their own Immortal and just push with it. Might as well. They probably can pick up a fort if they can. Get a good amount of damage on these towers. And the towers haven't taken a huge amount of hits just yet. The rest of the enemy team is starting to get grouped up here to try and fight this off. But Duality Gaming, I don't know. They've got a lot to deal with.
Once more, again, we're seeing a different build there from Tyrande. She does have Healing Ward as well. So this is a game of 2 Healing Wards. We got Father Major fighting Dreadnought bottom, but so far, this top gate just will not last. And could this be an early fort? The Immortal's starting to actually get chunked down pretty hard.
That he is, but they are going to go for a huge engagement here. They're going to take out Panda Boy with a good amount of damage and single target focus. Draconos has to break back up here, and it looks like they are going to be able to keep their fort for now. I don't know if Tempo can really go back on in here and take out this fort. Yeah, they can.
Would you believe that Dreadnought is winning the fight against Father Major one-on-one?
Without really any damage or globes of annihilation that do any more damage than the normal, I don't doubt that at all, actually.
All right, Myth, he's going to be finding Zuna, and I think that will stop out the rest of this mercenary camp. Well, we are going to get a bit more damage on top of Zuna as well. Remember, Rhaegar's been downstairs this entire time. It's really just the Tyrande heals to keep that Zuna going. And, well, they're going to keep going with it anyways. Less than half health points, but Zuna's still confident.
Yeah, and, I mean, without his actual support there either, that's just how Zuna plays. And looking at his build too, he plays a very interesting style of Butcher. He picked up Block at level 1, an Unrelenting Pursuit, which means the cooldown of Ruthless Onslaught is reduced by 40% upon impact, and then Abattoir, which allows him... Abattoir?
Fine.
Increases the amount of fresh meat that he can pick up. So look at that damage he's able to lay down. 242 attack damage at level 8. Ridiculous.
He has 35% increased damage. And on top of that, the vulnerability from Arthalon as well, which is why you see the synergies between the Tyrande as well as Butcher come out so very often. It's because not only is it 35%, it's another vulnerability on top of that. So you compound your interest, so to speak. And at the 6-minute mark, we're looking at 11 kills. And now the threat of level 10 with these next Immortals.
Father Major in the bot lane, absolutely out of mana, trying to hold off these Khazra, and just... I don't really quite understand this Azmodan pick if you're not going to go for any type of globes of annihilation buffs. With the Healing Ward, with the Army of Hell to increase the amount of charges, and then First Aid, it's a very weird composition, especially when you can barely push against Khazra.
It's Army of Hell, and then, well, okay, Nubarak got caught. But with the Army of Hell, to go with the General of Hell, it's all about just spamming out the bodies. And that's why the Innervate at level 1 was taken, the Shandow's Clarity, for the 10%. Now, you know, we have Rampant Growth with it, the Mule, but again, like, this is not a team fighting strategy at all. I've said that since draft, and as you can see here, Tempo Storm just kind of rolls in heavy.
Yeah, they have to be so incredibly conscious of those rotations, and I don't think they were really I don't think they really paid too much attention to it. Now, it looks like there is going to be a little bit of... Yeah, there's going to be a re-engagement on the Immortals, and now Tempo Storm is going to get a full health Immortal.
Full health Immortal. The top fort is not looking very healthy at this point. We do got that one Mule, and, you know, some value has been wrought from it. But at the same time, you know, triple Beetle build, this weird Azmodan build that we were talking about. We don't get to see a lot of Thrall, but it is just up and working. Sylvanas is down. Malfurion is down. They're not even going to finish this Merc camp.
Yeah, with the Shadow Stalk jump in there from Soldier, that was a really, really crazy play. And now Zuna's just going in from the back of the fort.
All right, so obviously we're feeling really good from Tempo Storm. So let's talk about Shadow Stalk. Shadow Stalk to start up the charge and the furnace. Zuna just kind of rolls in heavy. You can't target him. You can't stun him anyways. But he is just going to get straight into that back line. And if you're not looking very carefully, all of a sudden, furnace in your face.
Yeah. And it's just so much damage to have to deal with. Did he pop Furnace before? I don't even think he did. I think he just ran in and
doesn't
just two people without have to.
Not yet. 90-second delay. Sorry, not delay. Yeah, that would be terrible. 90-second cooldown. So, I mean, he can spam it out pretty much every team fight that he wants to, but he hasn't put it out yet.
I think at this point, oh, so close to dying, but the Ancestral from Dreadnought was on point, and look at how much stun they've got. There's the huge Furnace Blast, doing so much damage. Myth now has to try and disengage the Globe. Oh man, those Globes just aren't really doing that much work here. Soldier has to be the force between Tempo and the damaging members of Duality Gaming, but look at this, the keep's gone down. It's 9 minutes.
Yep. Keep down. Top 4 is actually still, you know, basically untouched because of that mule. But again, you know, you put your mule somewhere else. Even if they had a mule in that team fight, I don't think Tempo would have let it live. And a keep down at 9 minutes. Remember, 17 kills as well in under 10. We're almost at an average of 2 per minute. And again, looking at Asmodan, the pushing strat will continue with Demonic Invasion.
I don't see it yet, Jester. I just don't see it.
This is going to be the engage. Shadowstalk as well. We didn't really talk about this at draft, but we don't have a lot of information control available to both sides. Without that Shadowstalk, it was just Owls. Now with Shadowstalk, Tempo Storm can easily set up any kind of rolling ganks because they're going to know exactly where the opponents are.
Exactly, and that is what we saw before when we saw the fight at the Bruiser camp. Now, already, they're just able to use this anytime they see that the enemy team is just missing and they really want to engage. They've got a 5-person stack somewhere. Tempo Storm can easily engage, very easily, and giving that Butcher that ability to just jump in from any side without immediately having vision, given his own vision, it's going to be a very, very strong tool for them to use.
Is that an Earthquake? Yes, it is.
That
is a Thrall Earthquake.
I haven't seen an Earthquake in quite some time. No Sundering?
You don't get to see Thrall really that much either. I guess he's saying that you can't stop the unstoppable Butcher. So instead of going for that stun and the clear, they're going to go for the AoE control because they got that, the Wailing Arrow, the Demonic Invasion. So I mean, if you can't run away, the Demonic Invasion lands on your head. You silence arrow them. The theory is sound. So far, the execution is lagging.
That's quite true. Now here comes that, oh my god, that massive damage with the Furnace Blast. And Thrall is absolutely obliterated. Chikonos trying to get away here, but with the Butcher hot on his tracks, I don't think he's going to be able to get out of there. Fierce now is going to be the target of the Butcher's ire. Meanwhile, the rest of Tempo Storm was dealing with the Anubarak in the background.
The panic mule to come down.
Unfortunately, that mule doesn't kick, so it's not going to help out here.
Mule's kind of like, what am I doing here? This isn't the StarCraft universe. All right, Asmodan's going to get chased down there as well. You cannot get away from Zuna on that Butcher as of yet. Talent tier advantage is complete with that 15 to 12. We're going to be looking at that sweet spot fairly soon. But once more, the bigger story is that Tempo Storm, with this map presence, is once more aiming to get a full hit point immortal. And you can be sure that will be the second keep right there.
That's quite right. So this is going to be a very, very difficult fight for them to hold off if they don't actually go in here. But they can't actually really engage. They don't even have their level 13 talents, and Tempo's already 15. If they can get 16 before this actually happens, I don't think they can. But maybe with a couple of kills, Tempo can actually pull up a level 16 here. There's a huge amount of stuns going in on the Malfurion. Malfurion gets eliminated so quickly. Panda Boy now going in on KO, but I don't think that's going to work out so well. Meanwhile, we've got Zuna popping out of the web wrap. He's going to be able to do a lot of damage. There's Thrall going down, and Zuna is just wailing away on Father Major in the backline. Meanwhile, they are taking out the Immortal, and with the Furnace Blast.
Never would you actually expect Asmodan to go down to the Furnace Blast since they're on the same side in the Diablo universe. But that, again, is what we were just saying. Full hit point, full shield, immortal, level 15, now 16 to 12. The double advantage is real. We're looking at 26 kills to 0 in the less than 13 minutes. We are over the average of 2 kills a minute, and this is for sure a keep, if not the game, champ tier.
26 kills, Jester.
And no gathering power stacks to be had.
26 kills. That is ridiculous. That is more than 5 kills or 5 deaths on every enemy.
Oh my god, that stun was so big. Asmodan's gonna drop. Blood Frenzy now at 35% increased attack speed for Zuna. Anything that he touches is going to melt. Another big combo from the Duality Gaming. It's just not going to get any value.
It really isn't. Huge earthquake going on down here, but it's just not able to really stop the might of Tempo Storm. 13-17 in the talent tier. The Immortal is so healthy. Dreadnought going straight in here. And there's the Shadow Stalk as well. I just don't see how this team composition can hold off this massive push coming in here from Tempo.
Well, bottom line is it's not. Even with that Web Blast out, it's a full hit point Immortal. What a game. 27 kills in just under 14 minutes. That deserves a wow from Cattleprod, I will say. Tempo Storm not losing any edge, despite the fact this is their first game of the day.
Yeah, Tempo Storm definitely was able to get a pretty good amount of warm-up, I would have to assume, because they just walked right on in here without any issue and took out Duality Gaming. Oh, man, that was rough. 27-0.
Duality Gaming veritably got butchered. Dun, dun, dun.
That was an enthralling game, but not so much for Thrall.
No, in fact, nah, he got 0 value. It was a strange last pick. I have to wonder if Duality Gaming has, attempted this kind of comp before, because they seem to really have their eye on a lot of those talents. They knew exactly what they wanted to grab, and a pushing Asban is just not what we see anymore in meta.
It's a weird build for this map, but I just didn't see it working out so well, and, well, truth be told, it didn't really work out so well. So Tempo Storm's going to take game number 1. We're going to go into match point for game number 2 for Tempo. Let's see just how that game goes out, but first, a quick little break.